Julie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Justin. I'm happy to join.
So, can you tell me what you do like I'm a young child?
If I could say it in the simplest way, I would say I help companies and people in the workforce create better ways to connect with each other.
And so, break that down in adult language. What does that mean?
Well, people are looking for jobs, right? I believe that all people are always looking for jobs. Even if you currently have one, you might have this consideration that there might be something better for me out there. So if that's true, and about 75% of the world is employable, that means that 75% of every human on this planet is a job seeker at some point of their journey. Well, every single one of them is going to go out and search for jobs and look for greater opportunities, but how are they going to find them? That same question is being asked of employers. Employers are looking for great talent. They're looking for people to join their workforce, but how are they going to find them? And what I believe is true today is that the experience of job search, of which 75% of the people on this planet do, is fundamentally broken. And it's not a great experience. And I think that that should be a great experience. Finding a job is one of the top things in people's lives of importance. So shouldn't that be better? So that's what I do. I help companies improve their process, improve their employer branding. I try to help the people who are working in the field of actually doing the work of recruitment marketing. I help them so that they can do a better job at connecting with the people in the world who are looking for opportunity. And if those two can have, both of them, a better experience in finding each other, companies will grow faster, have greater profitability, and better service. And that's great for companies, but people will have a better experience and they will have a better career path and journey. So I think it really will help all humans if we can do a better job here. This is why I do this.
Sweet. So recruitment marketing. Now you do the website, recruitmentmarketing.com. You train folks how to be better recruitment marketers, how to sell the job, so to speak, or build their employer brands. You said a really good point earlier I want to go back to, which is 75% of people need to look for a job at some point in their life, but the system is fundamentally broken. Why do you think, with something that's so critical to the human experience, like literally foundational to the human experience, why do you think something like that is so broken?
Well, it has a lot to do with the advancement of technology, right? If you think about just 20 years ago, people were still posting jobs in newspapers, right? Like that transformed very quickly to people posting jobs online. And now where do you post your job online? And then what does that experience feel like when someone clicks on that apply button and now they interact with another piece of technology that is built for a purpose to help companies sift through lots of candidates and identify the right one. So as technology is advancing very fast, and so is the media that we use, right? From newspaper to TikTok. I mean, think about that transformation for a minute, right? Like how fast things are changing. So the expectations of consumers are the same as job seekers. I want to click a button and 2 days later, I want it to show up on my door. I want to click a button and 2 days later, I want to have an interview, right? That's the same expectation that people have as consumers and job seekers. But the technology in the recruitment space has not been able to keep up with that expectation, nor have the processes that we've designed. So all of them need to level up to those expectations. And the consumer space is growing so much faster than the recruitment space has been able to keep up with it.
Are we always going to be stuck like this? Or do you think there's a day when the candidate experience matches the consumer experience?
I would hope that there's a day that they catch up, but I think we're well off of that. I think there's been some big transformation recently, right? Part of the reason why this has not advanced as quickly as it probably should have is it didn't have to. 10 years ago, we were in a recession and we had high unemployment. So a company could post a job, even with a terrible experience, they get hundreds of applications. So why would they have to do anything? So what's happened is it's become the job seeker market. Right? The tables turned from the employer sitting back being like, I don't have to do anything. I'm getting plenty of applications. There's no reason why I should have to invest in doing anything more, to saying, oh no, I don't have enough, not only not enough candidates, I don't have enough workforce. And now I'm going to have to start cutting into my ability to grow, my ability to keep my office open, my ability to keep my stores open, because I don't have enough people to deliver. So now companies are realizing that this investment has everything to do with their entire success. If you don't have the people to do the work, then you can't do the work. And now companies are starting to pay attention more and invest more. And with that comes the revolution of the technology. There's a lot of investment happening. It's absolutely fantastic to watch all the startups that are being developed, all the incredible innovative technologies and things that people are bringing to the table, because there's so much opportunity in this industry. And now people are looking to learn more about recruitment marketing, and they're looking to either come out of recruitment where they understand the people on the process side, or they're coming out of marketing where they understand all of the conversion and analytic data that's associated with that. So one way or the other, one side or the other needs to upskill to the other to connect the two, because that's what this is. It is recruitment and it is marketing. That's a people business and a data business, because today's digital marketing is all about data.
Job programmatic advertising. We've had a couple folks here that mentioned that on the show. You were part of creating that. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Well, talk about the need. The need was very evident and entirely frustrating, because I saw so much programmatic technology taking place in, the e-commerce space and all these other areas. It was unimaginable that we could even have like something like that in the recruitment space. It seemed almost impossible because there was no data for it to work off of. We started creating analytics at the job level, and that very quickly surfaced the information that we needed to say, well, now we can see what's going on. Now we want to change the behaviors, right? So first the analytics, and then came the programmatic advertising, because we were able to sit and look at the data and make the logic that said, well, if this job isn't performing very well, maybe we shouldn't keep spending on it. And if this job is performing very well and it's bringing in a great volume of candidates at a low cost, and we need lots of them, then let's continue to spend. As we started building out, what I would say rule-based logic, we started to train machine learning to learn on its own. We sampled going into artificial intelligence to use that, but artificial intelligence currently lacks context into our industry. So it doesn't understand the context as to why something might be doing better or not. I would say that without oversight, that's really dangerous, because you don't know about the decisions it's making.
I saw a study results recently. They asked AI to describe the ideal candidate or something for different roles. And construction worker, 100% use of the language he. Nurse, 80% use of the language she. It was very much the AI learned from humans. This is what the normal gender is for this type of role. And that's an example of how AI can be biased based on, what it's picking up from around it.
Yes, I hope to see continued advancements on it. I'm very optimistic about its use in recruitment marketing at this time. Like everything else we do in recruitment, we need to make sure that we are having some accountability to fair practice.
So on that note, what is something you wish more people knew about in your world, Julie?
Well, the general lack of knowledge in regards to analytics and attribution always creates a struggle. And it often requires so much education to get people to trust and use data that it makes it really hard to get to the good work of actually using it.
So you're saying the data's there, folks. The decisions are there to be made, but they don't understand how data works. It's objective, not subjective, meaning there's nothing I can do to influence this. I can make decisions off this. You wish more people would be able to take a step back, so to speak, and be able to make a decision without poking holes in the data? Or is that what you mean?
I mean, we live in a digital era. You got to have some knowledge about analytics and data. Like, that's it. If you want to make data-driven decisions, like decisions that are not based on your gut, then you're going to have some trust and some general knowledge in analytics, so that when information is being presented to you, you're not going through an education session. You're going through an insights discovery to an actionable outcome.
What's something you're learning about or curious about right now?
ChatGPT is definitely something that I am enjoying exploring right now. Its potential to be applied in our industry, but what quickly is surfacing is the need for you to know how to prompt it to get the right outcomes. Humans are going to have to learn the skill to communicate with AI to get back the information they're looking for.
Yeah, it's like similar to the robots taking over manufacturing jobs, but we need somebody to learn how to program and maintain the robots. So what's a process or strategy you found success with that you could share with us?
I started creating success plans for new hires. And that is because there's been this rising expectations of people today in the workforce to crave career pathing and internal mobility from an employer. People want to know on their first day how they can advance to the next level. So that first day is when you should be delivering that information, as far as I'm concerned. So I view it almost as a gamification of career mobility, offering clear indications of when someone can have level achievements, unlock skills and power-ups that all translate into a success plan for internal mobility. Now, this takes effort and continuous feedback to conduct this, but it's worth it, both for the employer and the employee experience, because people want to know, how can I do better? How can I do great work that makes me worthy of a promotion, right? Those things should not be guessing.
As you're talking, I'm reminded that, no, this isn't like somebody can just say, oh, that sounds great, let's find some software to do that. It really is, this is a conversation, a continuous conversation you're having with your people. All right. So last question for you today, Julie. What bit of advice would you share with your younger self?
Trust your instincts.
And here we're talking about data. Just want to point out, we're talking about data, and you got to make data-based decisions. And we're talking about instincts. I love this.
Yeah. Trust your instincts. And I'd say, that's because I do consume so much data, and I, would often have feelings where like, I really think this, but I'm going to hold back. And if I could go back, 20 years and sit down with myself and say, you just follow your instincts because you're not wrong. I'd also teach myself something that I learned. It took me a little while to learn, but share the story, not the report. Spent a lot of time putting reports in front of people over time and then trying to explain the insights that are associated with that. And, here I am like, a data nerd with sparkles in my eyes. Like, can't you see it in the numbers? It's amazing. And not everyone is translating that report the same way that I am. So what I've learned over time is I need to share the story and not the report. What did I see? What is the story that I need to communicate from what I learned from that report instead of the report itself?
I feel like we could do like a mini class just on that subject, because that's something I think I don't even, as you're talking to me about that, I'm like, I don't know if I would know how to do that. I've certainly given them my fair share of reports, but
storytelling with data is something I've done a lot of education on.
That's a really good tip for our listeners. It's one thing to have the data; it's another thing to persuade people using the data. It's not as obvious as just look at the data, like you're saying. You have to tell a story with the data, and there's an art and a science to that. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Where can people learn more about you?
If you go to recruitmentmarketing.com, we are a resource and a community to help TA, talent acquisition and recruitment marketing professionals celebrate, elevate, and learn. So if you want to learn more about the industry, come subscribe. We put out great information that we publish ourselves, as well as we publish content from other people in the industry to help really celebrate and share knowledge. But you can always find me on LinkedIn. I'm Julie Calli, and I'm always welcoming to meeting new people in the space.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much, Julie.
Great. Thank you so much, Justin.
Thanks for listening to the Talent Journey podcast with your host, Justin Vaco. To learn more about Dialogue, visit recruitwithdialogue.com.